Hey everybody, this is Robert and Damien with the Money Coach Show coming back at you with part two to our IRAs and 401ks. And you know what? We're going to fill that glass up with the rest of the juice if you saw the first episode, because my goodness, did Damien, you brought it last week. Like it was amazing what you did, because at the end of the day, there was so much value about it. I want to say this and I want to echo this out aloud that you guys that have watched this, like, share, subscribe, and anyone that found value in this or know someone that would find value in this, send it to them because you know what? I know I did, and I speak to you every week, like at least what, 4 or 5 times a week, as we may be, virtual, but we're always on the phone talking to each other, always sharing advice and always, delivering it. But last week, my friend, you really brought it. So with that being said, take it away.
Oh, no, thank you, Robert. Thank you. Tremendous introduction. All right. Okay, folks. So if you saw last week's episode, you saw part one of our two-part series of pros and cons versus 401ks versus IRAs. Last week we discussed 401ks. This week we're going to discuss IRAs. So, all right, Robert, once more, let's imagine you and myself were nearing retirement, left a job we've been at for many years. Um, but this time we decided to roll our money over to an IRA. So this is a part where we're going to cover three sections. So section number one, you're going to have more investment options. It's actually a pro. Um, One of the primary benefits of rolling over to a 401k over to an IRA is access to a larger menu of investment options. IRAs typically preferred not only provide more options available than a 401k plan, but they also include a lot of other things, including ETFs. So if you're kind of crypto curious or seeing what's happening with the current administration or who's in charge of the SEC now, it's a good thing. Another pro in terms of having more investment options. Um, if you're actually interested in just a particular stock or a particular bond and you want to purchase that, you could never do that in a 401k, but you can do that in an IRA. IRAs tend to favor index funds, mutual funds, but they also can hold unconventional assets like precious metals, physical real estate, a lot of different things. So that's where in portion one, you will have a lot more investment options. I see it as a pro. Section two, you can streamline your accounts. This is also a pro. People with several 401k accounts. Robert, have you had multiple 401k accounts
Oh
as you worked?
yes. Well, I've had multiple jobs, and you know what? I've always tried to make sure that 401k is usually one of the, hey, everyone, if you have a 401k, I have a great job.
Yeah.
And I've
No,
left those jobs.
it's usually a good sign of having a good job. But one of the great things about an IRA is that you can streamline all of those 401k accounts into your IRA accounts. It's a really good, it's a positive thing. It's a pro.
Mm.
It also actually makes things better for you if you have a will and trust, like yourself, you have a wife and kids, Robert. If something, heaven forbid, ever happened to you, having all of your assets streamlined actually makes it easier for your heirs when it comes time to divvy up your assets. So, not trying to be melancholy or somber, but I mean, death is a part of life, and people should think about that. So, on section two, it has some pretty, really, really positive aspects in regard to that. Number three, this is where you're going to have more flexible payouts. In the previous video, this is where 401ks kind of beat IRAs because you can take your money out at 55. IRAs, you can only take it out at 59 and a half. So it's a con in reference to that aspect of the flexible payout. However, the other aspect of a IRA having a flexible payout is that they will usually have more options in terms of how you can withdraw your money and how much money you can withdraw over time. There's a lot more restrictions with 401ks. IRAs, you have a lot more flexibility. So that's a pro. Another pro in reference to speaking about flexibility with your payouts with an IRA, you can purchase an annuity. An annuity basically acts as, hey, Robert, let's say you wanted to take $20,000 out to pay you $500 or $600 every month over this segment of time. You can do that with an IRA. You can't do that with the 401k. So, in terms of flexibility, in terms of how you want to pay yourself out, um, there's a lot of flexibility. And that kind of leads, when we speak about annuities, kind of leads into where I have to mention financial advisors. Normally, when dealing with 401ks, you're not going to deal with financial advisors or have that option. However, when dealing with IRAs, at some point you are going to encounter the option of hiring a financial advisor or that being presented to you. And the reason for this is simple. IRAs offer us as consumers many options. It's overwhelming, to be completely honest. And they're supposed to help you build a strategy and look at what your goals are based on that. With that said, if you are lucky enough to have six figures, Robert, did you know that most people who have their money at any investment firm, usually they're actually entitled to free financial advisor advice? Did you know that?
Only because of you, my friend, and listening to what you say. Hey, but
So,
we are the
so
cheat sheet. So this is why people should be listening. So
I
yes,
agree. I no, 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 I agree. Um, so with that said, it's just to let everybody know that if you have a decent pool of money, six figures or more, probably 100,000 or more, whether you're with Fidelity, Vanguard, ADP, Millennium, American Century Investments, etc., they have a tiered system and
mhm.
they will normally offer you free financial advisor advice depending upon how much money you have with them. If you have over six figures, you will probably not have to pay for a lot of that advice. And if you were not aware of that, you should know that because financial advisor fees are really expensive, folks. All right, Robert. So let's say you had $97,000. You didn't meet the $100,000 threshold for whatever investment firm you had your IRAs with. So, did you know that if you wanted to shop for a financial advisor outside of that, you're going to look at a retainer fee? Do you know how much a retainer fee is?
More than what I want to spend.
$2,000 to $7,000. Do you know they have hourly fees? Do you know what those hourly fees are?
More than what I want to spend.
About $200 to $400. And
Hmm.
then they have commissions based on the transactions that they perform. And those transactions are trades. And essentially, it's whatever you want to try and do with your money, those are trades. And they're going to execute those trades. And those financial advisors will nickel and dime you for every single one of those. Long story short, a financial advisor is still a salesman. And that is something that all of our audience should be aware of. And the fees that are out there are normally dependent upon how much money you have. If you have assets and you only want to use a robo advisor, maybe a quarter percent to a half a percent.
Hmm.
If you have assets and you want to actually speak to an in-person advisor, you're going to be looking at 1 to 2%. So not only is there a retainer, is there an hourly fee, is there a commission paid on those transactions, but then dependent upon how much money we have, Robert, they're going to pay it, they're going to charge us a commission on that. So that's
Mm.
why I mentioned to all of our viewers that, hey, if you have your money and you have six figures or more, with a prominent investment firm. Look into what you have available because you might have options because it's very expensive to try and find a financial advisor on your own. So that, in a nutshell, is the end of part two of the pros and cons of IRAs. But I had to mention financial advisors because that is kind of really an important segment with that.
I'm going to throw in
What
a
are your
little bit of
thoughts? What are
seasoning
your
in there,
yeah?
a
What are
little
your
bit of
thoughts?
seasoning. It's like, and again, if you're that close, if you're that close to actually getting to that threshold, do your due diligence and put a little bit more away.
Yes.
It's like because Damien, you mentioned and I'm going to be honest with you, it's not uncommon that people have that much saved away. It's
Oh
like
no, not at
with
not at
without
all.
divulging too much information, I was speaking to a school teacher that has about $88,000 in their 401k, and I'm like, okay, and I was able to say, hey, watch this video, look out for the next one because there's going to be some very important information, and you know what, right there. Do your due diligence and financially be responsible. Again, we have a fiduciary responsibility, and Damien,
Yes, we do.
that
Yes, we
that's
do.
my rant. I'm gonna get off my soapbox with that, but
Oh no. I just want to tell everybody thank you for if you have watched up to this point. I hope it's been beneficial. This is always educational, as we said and Robert said before. This is an additional service. We do this for you guys at Loan and Key. We want to engage before.
hmm.
So that's all I have to say. This is the financial guru signing out. And stay tuned. We have more good
Oh
stuff
yeah,
for you.
oh yeah. And you know what, Damien, before we even go, because as we try to keep things in a timely manner, I even have some notes here because you know what, you have provided so much information in these last two videos. We are going to have more series where it's just
Oh,
this.
oh yeah. Oh
So,
yeah.
okay, thank you
Oh
for
yeah.
agreeing
Oh
because
yeah. Oh yeah.
I,
Oh yeah.
I know sometimes I'm a bull in a china cabinet and we need to do this, we need to do that. And you know what? Okay, because I'm gonna wheel it back a little bit before we wrap it up. The reason we're doing this is because we've seen the traction
Oh
within our
yes.
Facebook page, within our YouTube, within
People want
LinkedIn.
to hear about this. People want to learn about this. I have no
Because
problem. I have no problem providing this.
you want
So,
I know this is my phone, but at the same time it's my wallet too, and I want to be able to make sure I'm saving as much money as I can, and I know you guys are too. As a mortgage professional and Damien as our financial guru, it's like you've helped me a lot and I'm able to extend that knowledge out to other people. So with that being said, thank you for your time, thank you for your knowledge, because hey, you know what? This knowledge that you're bringing, it's costly and we're giving it for free. Just have to stay tuned. We're giving it for free. You know what? When it comes to all the hoops through a mortgage, there's things that you inevitably are going to have to pay for. But a lot of the knowledge that we're giving in this YouTube page and this Facebook and LinkedIn, we're giving out free information that a lot of people will say, sign a contract before we can even talk to you. We don't want that. We want to be able to say, hey, we're going to give you the knowledge so you can actually go and intelligently buy
make your own decision.
instead of being sold. So, with that being said, Damien, thank you for your time and I hope you
Oh,
have a great rest of your weekend. And
likewise, Robert.
thank you. And
See
everyone,
you next time.
we'll see you next week. Talk to you later. Bye.